By now, most of you will know that Liam Dawson has been selected as Shoaib Bashir's replacement for the fourth test in Old Trafford. First of all, we had Karen Nair making an international return after 8 years, and now we've got Liam Dawson making a return to the test side after 8 years. Much has been said, Harmy. I'm not going to throw much into the comment section on this, other than to say that if you regard the county championship as your testing ground, then he's been player of the year for the last 2 years, with scoring runs, averaging 50, scoring hundreds, taking wickets, maybe he's not as tall as Rob Key and Brendan McCullum would like their spinner to be, but my goodness, he's 35 years old. He couldn't do any more, could he? It goes back to what Rob Key said, that comment about, do we want to select people who we know we can trust and rely on, or do we want to go for something that might have an element of the unexpected? And they've gone for the tried and tested and trusted.
Yeah, and I think it was important that they did. It's a little bit like the Jack Leach going back to Mo and Ali. I don't think it's a backward step at all. I think this is a very, very streetwise move in a challenging situation, because you're going to play against India. And I think what we need is a street fighter. And I think we need somebody who's streetwise. And I think in Liam Dawson, I think he was the only choice. There's plenty of other good young spinners who are knocking around, who will challenge Shoaib Bashir over the course of the next however long, next few months, weeks, years, whatever. But I think right now, England needs somebody who now, possibly because Chris Woakes might miss out, because he's had a quiet time, somebody to come back at number 8, somebody can be a little bit more wily, a little bit more in your face if need be, because this series, as boys are bubbling up, they are going at each other like you'd not believe. So I think Liam Dawson deserves his chance. I think the only reason he didn't get his chance before was because I think he'd had enough of going round. He'd done his paperwork. He's sort of paper round. He had been carrying drinks for quite a while, and I think he was like, "I'm sick of carrying drinks. If you want me to play, come and get me when I'm playing." And there's nothing wrong with that, because he's gone through that process of being in the squads. I think this is the right call at the right time in England. They need somebody from an all-round experience point of view, with bat ball and with sort of calmness and demeanour. We've seen in the shortest format of the game when he came back not so long ago, when he played against for Harry Brook and against the West Indies. I think this is a good selection, because I think England might have to leave out Chris Woakes at Manchester, and we'll need somebody to bat at number 8.
Okay, Sam Cook and Craig Overton have been released from the squad to go and play in the county championship. I don't know whether you saw Darren Lehman tweeted, England need Kelvin Harrison. He has the skill and the temperament, and besides, who else is there? So there's that question for you very quickly. And also, are we ever going to find out what Rian Ahmed did wrong?
Honestly, I don't know. It just seemed as though they liked having Rian around, but didn't want to pick it. It just seemed as that way. We love Rian. We love his character. We love the boy. He is a really, really good boy to have around. He's got a little bit of everything, but possibly not quite what we need it. The business section of it, whether it's the bowling or the batting. The Calvin Harrison one, I think, is a little bit like what was said before. You've got Jack Carson then at Sussex talking about Rian, his younger brother, who's getting a lot of good noise especially through Graham Swan. Not against India, 2-1 in the series with 2 to go, and leading into an Ashes series as well. I don't think we could pick anybody better than Liam. To be fair, Liam Dawson. Right now, at this moment, I think we need somebody who is not going to be overawed by playing against India. Liam will be a little bit, but not to the extent that possibly Calvin might be, or Rian might be, or Jack Dawson might be, or the next one. There's a lot to choose from, I think, who are possibly in the same boat as Shoaib Bashir. High ceiling level, untried and tested, and a little bit young and naive for a game of cricket against India when this series is about to explode. I think we've picked the right person. I get what
And
Darren's saying. I get what Darren's saying. The boy's got talent, but I think this is beyond the talent bit. I think you need character, and I think Liam's got the character to go in there and fit in nicely.
yeah, and maybe not the right time and place for somebody to be given their first cap. Okay, finally, and there's a dozen cricketers in the men's and women's 100 who would be delighted by their perhaps unexpected, but I think largely very well deserved extra payday, being picked as wild cards. The two that have attracted most headlines are Jimmy Anderson, who'll be 43 when he plays for the Manchester Originals, and Rocky Flintoff, who's been well, I don't know, has he been picked by his dad? I mean, would Andrew have been in charge of would he have said that's my wild card, or would there be a selection committee? Surely it wouldn't just be his own decision. Anyway, they're the headline stories, so give us your thoughts.
Yeah, I think we'll start with the Rocky one. I think it's a good move for Northern Superchargers. I think it's a good move that he's gone to where his dad is. He's 17 years old, remember. So I think we need somebody. You need somebody to look after him, whether he'll play or not. Likely not in the start of the tournament, but as the tournament goes on, you just never know. And I think having the old man around might just help him, because if he goes to a different county, all of a sudden the Flintoff name is there, and he's got no sort of comfort blanket to sort of go and seek advice. You've seen during the Lions trip, and we've seen the times that he's sort of represented young England. When that's a difficult name to carry off, and he's done it very well so far. And I think having that around might just help him get to, when he's 18, 19, 20, and then he can stand on his own 2 feet. I think at this point, I think it's a good move to get him into the 100, because the talent's there. He's not there because his dad's there. He's not there because he's name. Rocky's there because he's talented, and England see a ceiling level that they've seen, quite a few of the younger players. So I'm pleased he's with his dad, and that'll be a good thing for both parties. Jimmy Anderson, I said at the start of the summer when Jimmy said I want to play in the 100, I was like, Jimmy, just coach somebody in the 100. England should give him a franchise, start his coaching qualifications, and get him started. And then he's played in the T20, and he looks as good as any 23-year-old in that T20 competition. In the Blast so far this season, Jimmy Anderson has looked every bit as good as any 23-year-old. So he's proven, like he has to everybody else, age is just a number, and I can see him doing even more damage with this 100 ball, because you think a white kookaburra goes round corners. By all accounts, this one is uncontrollable at times, and the one person who will control it nicely will be the greatest, Jimmy Anderson.
14 wickets in 8 games. So I just I just wonder whether Rocky will be able to spend his £31,000 in a way that he wants to, or whether it'd be given an allowance.
I think he might be given an allowance. I'm sure Fred will say he's had that off me already. So yeah, look, I think from that front to the money side of it, it's great. I'm sure it'll be well looked after. I can't see him getting it and he's going to go out and spend it on a new car or anything like that. He's got his feet on the ground as Rocky, and Andrew wants what's best for his son, but I'm sure he always wants what's best for the Superchargers as well. So I'm sure it's a good fit, and it's a good match, and it's a nice little 18th birthday party for when it comes around. I tell you, just hopefully by he's 18, he doesn't drink like his dad, because that 31 grand won't last long.
You're listening to Following On with me, Neil Manthorp, along with former England fast bowler Steve Harmison. Next up, we'll round up the week's other big stories as Italy make history and the West Indies also make history by being rolled over for the second lowest score in Test history.